Every generation believes the chaos they're living through is unprecedented. The division, the anger, the confusion, the feeling that something is deeply off. But history tells us something uncomfortable. This has happened before, over and over again. What we're living through today isn't random. It didn't start with social media. It didn't start with cable news. And it didn't start with this political cycle. It's part of a much older system, a system built around who controls wealth, who controls resources, and who doesn't. And decades ago, one of the clearest voices to ever explain this wasn't a politician or an economist, it was a comedian.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, and people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy people. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white, I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job, I'm hungry, you know. But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts eating.
The system levels them.
Pretty soon it's all gone.
Is that what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, we'll be back right after this.
That wasn't just a joke. That was an economic observation. Richard Pryor wasn't talking about race in isolation. He was talking about power and how those with wealth protect it. He understood that when a small group controls land, capital, corporations, and political influence, the greatest threat to them isn't disagreement, it's unity among the people beneath them. So historically, power relies on a simple dynamic. You divide people and keep them competing horizontally, so they never organize vertically. Poor and working people are encouraged to argue over race, culture, identity, and status, instead of asking why the same group continues to accumulate wealth regardless of who's in office. If people believe they're better than someone else socially, they're far less likely to notice they're losing economically. And while that distraction plays out, wealth consolidates quietly at the top. This isn't abstract, it's measurable. In the United States today, the top 0.1% of households hold roughly 5.5 times the wealth of the bottom 50%. That didn't happen by accident. It happened because capitalism rewards ownership over labor and then protects those who already own. Pryor called them greedy people, not because they're uniquely evil, but because the system incentivizes greed. When people hear phrases like costs rise and ownership shrinks, this is what that actually looks like. Housing, once the primary way working families built wealth, has become increasingly financialized. Large institutional investors now buy significant portions of single-family homes turning potential homeowners into permanent renters. So people work more, pay more, and end up owning less of the society they sustain. The system is trading your equity for their rent. And while that pressure builds, the public conversation rarely focuses on ownership or capital. It shifts back to culture, identity, and resentment. This is also how good people get absorbed by the system. Most politicians don't enter politics trying to betray their voters. Most executives don't enter companies trying to exploit workers. But advancement comes with conditions. Don't disrupt ownership structures. Don't challenge profitability. Don't question who benefits. And over time, resistance becomes career suicide, while compliance becomes success. It's not a conspiracy, it's an incentive structure. The system doesn't corrupt everyone, it just promotes the ones who won't challenge it. Pryor was also clear about something else: how racial anxiety gets used as a pressure valve. Decades before Richard Pryor said it on stage, an American president, Lyndon Johnson, described the same dynamic more bluntly. He warned that if you can convince a white man that he is superior to a black man, he won't notice his wages being stolen, his job being outsourced, or his future being mortgaged. Because status feels like power, even when real power is being taken away. Historically, when real wages stagnate, as they have for much of the working class since the late 1970s, there is a predictable spike in racialized and anti-immigrant rhetoric. Not because conditions suddenly change culturally, but because economic frustration is being redirected. The system manages anger by giving people someone below them to blame instead of someone above them to question. Richard Pryor wasn't saying people were doomed. He was saying awareness is dangerous to those who benefit from things staying the same. Nothing we're seeing today is new. The tools have changed, the speed has changed, but the structure hasn't. And history shows this clearly. Systems don't change when the powerful become kinder. They change when the powerless become conscious. When they see the game for what it is and start questioning rules they never agreed to. If you found value in this video and you want to see more conversations like this, videos that connect history, power, and the world we're living in today, please take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.